all, hope you're having a nice day. Let's discuss about the poem No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Before moving to the poem, let's deal with the objectives of the e-content. Know about the poet James Kirkup and his background. Understand the title and central theme of the poem No Men Are Foreign. Identify the main ideas of peace, unity, and universal brotherhood expressed in the poem. Recognize and explain the literary devices used in the poem, such as alliteration, repetition, imagery, and metaphor. Now let's discuss about the author. James Kirkup, born on 23rd April 1918, died on 10th May 2009. James Falconer Kirkup was born on April 23, 1918 in South Shields, County Durham, England. He belonged to a working class family. His father worked as a shipwright. He studied at South Shields High School and later attended King's College, Durham. Kirkup was deeply interested in literature from a young age and began writing poems early in life. During the Second World War, he served as a conscientious objector, refusing to fight due to his pacifist beliefs. His war experience influenced his poetry and strengthened his message of peace and universal brotherhood. He worked as a teacher and lecturer in several countries including Japan, Germany, and the United States. His first collection of poems, The Drowned Sailor, was published in 1947. Kirkup's poetry is known for its simplicity, emotional depth, and humanitarian concern. His major themes include love, peace, equality, nature, and compassion for all human beings. He is best known for his poem No Men Are Foreign, which conveys the message of world unity and equality. He also wrote prose, autobiographies, and plays apart from poetry. Kirkup was an accomplished translator and translated several works of Japanese poetry into English. He lived in Japan for many years and was greatly influenced by Japanese art and culture. He became the first Gregory Fellow in poetry at Leeds University. Some of his other famous work include No More Hiroshimas, A Correct Compassion, and The Only Child. Kirkup's writing often reflected his belief in humanity in opposition to war and discrimination. He was sometimes controversial for his own bold and unconventional expressions. In his later life, he settled in Andorra, where he continued to write and translate until his death. James Kirkup died on May 10, 2009, leaving behind a legacy of peace-oriented and humanistic poetry. No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like us, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by wars long wind-starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Now let's move on to the stanza-wise summary of the poem. Stanza 1. In the first line, the poet says that no men are strange and no country is foreign. So he is attempting to remove the borders from the earth which have erected to separate different countries. Then only no country will be foreign. We will feel every country as our own land. When there will be no borders, everyone will be free to move around. The poet wants to say that the entire earth is one and all the people who live on this earth belong to one human race. Then he says that inside the uniforms worn by soldiers of different countries, the human being is the same. God has made all of us in a similar way. All breathe in the same way. Then he says that all soldiers are our brothers. We all walk upon the same Mother Earth, and upon our death shall lie in the grave in the same earth. Now let's move on to the second stanza. Here, they refers to those people who belong to other countries. We call them foreigners and discriminate them and fight with them also. The poet says that the nature has given all the bounties to all people just like he has given to us. Everyone gets sunlight, air, and water in equal measures, which means that God does not differentiate between people from different countries. We all do farming during the time of peace when there is no war. We have a relaxed life and eat the things given to us by nature. Further, he adds that the way we starve during war and winter time is the same for those belonging to other countries. Even they don't get food at that time. So he wants to say that foreigners who belong to another country and we both are same. And then the poet says that even their hands are the same as ours. They work very hard just like we do. He is giving all these examples to convey to the readers that there is no difference in us and the people belonging to another country. Stanza 3. The poet asks the readers to remember something. He says that we should keep in mind that the people of another country, whom we think to be our enemies, have been bestowed by God with similar appearance like us. God has given them eyes like ours, which open when awake and close when we are asleep. Similarly, He has given them strength which we can win through love. Then He says that in every country, in every land, there is one common thing, that is life. Life means all the things that are living, and if we can recognize them and if we can understand their feelings and realize that they are like us, then there will be no fights or war between us. Stanza 4. The poet says that we should remember that whenever someone tells us to hate a person from another country, to think him as our enemy, and whenever we think of someone to be our enemy, then we deprive ourselves, we cheat ourselves, and we condemn ourselves. He says that we should stay away from such negativity. We should not consider anyone to be our enemy. During a war, both the parties must bear the loss. And that is why the poet says that war is not in our favor. He says that whenever we pick any weapon against someone, we should remember one thing. Stanza 5. We should keep in mind that whenever we pick weapon against any person, we make the earth dirty because weapons kill people and their bodies which fall on earth make it dirty. Whenever war happens, it leads to a lot of bloodshed, fire and death. These dead bodies accumulate on the earth and it makes it impure. The fire of war which erupts, the smoke which comes out, the dust which fills the air, it is so dirty that it pollutes and outrages the purity of the air. With all these things, the poet wants to give us a message that we should not indulge in war. Finally, he ends the poem by writing the first line in reverse and saying that, remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Now, let's analyze the themes of the poem. Universal brotherhood. The central argument is that despite superficial differences like nationality and dress, all humans are fundamentally the same. The poem repeatedly emphasizes this through shared physical and emotional experiences, advocating for a global sense of unity. Common human experience. The poem uses shared human needs and actions as evidence for a unity. It highlights that all people rely on the same sun, air, and water, work with their hands, and experience both peace of harvest and devastations of war. Critique of war and hate. The poem provides a powerful critique of conflict by showing how it is self destructive. When we hate and fight others, we are harming ourselves, betraying our own humanity, and polluting the shared earth with fire and hells of fire and dust. Rejection of artificial divisions. The poem identifies uniform as a metaphor for the artificial division that create prejudice and conflict. It argues that these are superficial and that beneath them the shared human body is same everywhere. Now, let's discuss about the poetic devices. Metaphor and metonymy. The poem uses uniforms as a metaphor or metonymy to represent the military attire and traditional dress that distinguish people from different nations, masking the fundamental sameness beneath. Repetition. The poem's title and its repetition at the end. Remember, no men are foreign and no country strange, act as a strong framing device reinforcing the central message of unity. Alliteration. Literary devices like alliteration in Body Breathes, Was Long Winter are used to create a musicality and emphasis on key phrases, drawing attention to the connections between words and ideas. That's all for the e content. Hope it was helpful. Thank you.